Hey everyone, ArdrethShadow here and welcome back to Doki Doki Blue Skies. So previously, after pretty much ruining the life of MC and Sayori, and making myself depressed for a while, I started on the route to the good ending. And so far things are actually looking up. He's actually a little more open to helping Sayori now, and he's not so impatient, and he's a little more understanding. All because he told his mom what was going on, and all because he finally went to her first therapy session with her. Anyways, so let's continue. It's been about 2 weeks since that nightmare caused Sayori to have a breakdown. By this point in our relationship, I've really started to see what Mom warned me about. I didn't realize how bad the bad days would be. We've had a few therapy sessions since. As I was hoping, the sessions went smoothly. Well, as smoothly as they could go, I guess. Along with her doctor prescribing her antidepressants, the therapist has given Sayori a diary, which she's meant to use by recording her happy and sad thoughts. Oh no, not the happy thoughts. Well, you know what I mean if you're familiar with the original version of the game. By recording her sad thoughts, he's working with her to see whether those thoughts are supported by facts, basically trying to challenge her depressive thinking. So, for the most part, I guess you could say, and going back to my own therapy sessions, some aspects of depression and anxiety boil down to I had a thought. Not a fact, you had a thought that you feel such and such way. For example, saying, I had a thought that I feel worthless. Not a fact that you feel worthless, it's just a thought. If you give any power to those thoughts, then they overpower your way of thinking. So, in all, say you are working against this I have a thought that I'm worthless. It can consume you and you end up feeling worthless. Or you can fight back and challenge it and basically say, no, I know that I'm not worthless. That is not a fact, and you don't control me. Which is easier said than done, and I speak from experience, unfortunately. As I've had to go through a lot of that myself, as you can probably guess. I'm no expert, but it looks to me... I'm no expert, but it looks to me that... Dang it. But it looks to me like that's the kind of therapy she needs. It's not been as simple as it might seem, but to me it looks like steady but sure progress is being made. And I suppose that was also the sort of therapy I needed. Unfortunately, I couldn't really keep seeing that therapist anymore because after a while that therapist kind of stopped helping, and then they kind of started to run the show, and so yeah, and I just didn't agree with that. So, yeah, whatever episode I mentioned it in, finding a good therapist is pretty much like a mixed bag. You're gonna have good ones and bad ones. It's gonna just take a lot of trial and error. To say the least, it's a huge relief. She's also tentatively mentioned that she'd like to start going to the sessions alone, although she isn't quite at that stage yet. Interesting. Because obviously, one of the big problems with the bad route was he, well, not intentionally, but he seemingly kind of left Sayori to fend for herself in the lion's den. But obviously him going there and giving her that needed support has kind of helped build her up. So I'm guessing she's working to a point where she can go to these sessions alone and sort of kind of stand on her own 2 feet, so to say. She said she'd like to She said she'd see how she feels by the time the next one comes about. Still, it's been really interesting to see what therapy really entails. Definitely an eye-opening experience. On the one hand, I think the other club members are starting to get a little more suspicious. There have been a few days where Sayori's depressive moods became a little more apparent in school, and they were concerned for her. Still, Sayori maintained her walls. I felt bad about how in the dark the other girls were, but it isn't my position to say what's going on. Hopefully Sayori will be comfortable telling them in her own time. Also, given it's now February, I've had to pay a little more attention to school matters, namely the end of the semester next month. Sakurai has been talking to students about their future plans. It's scary to think that next year is my final school year. He wants to see me after the lesson ends, so for what feels like the first time in forever, I've started to think about what I want to do after I leave school. As the bell rings, he calls me over. You have that same... man, I'm terrible right now, reading. You have the same look that I had on my face when my homeroom teacher wanted to talk to me about my post-school plans. I appreciate his use of humor in the situation. He's always been efficient at helping me feel at ease, especially in situations where I feel out of my depth. If you don't know what you want to do, I wouldn't worry about it too much. After all, you're just a second year, so you have another year to figure it out. Having said that, do you have any idea at all? To be honest with you, sir, I haven't really given it much thought at all. The past 5 months have been really... well, they haven't really given me much time to think about it. Well, let's try this from another angle. Does higher education interest you at all? Going to university? Or would you perhaps be more inclined towards finding a job as soon as you leave school? I paused for a moment to think, trying to recollect what my parents used to tell me when we had this kind of conversation. University sounds good, although I'm not sure what I'd study. He nods approvingly. You'll definitely find it easier to land a job if you have a degree under your belt. Yeah, I'm not saying anything. That's good to know, then. All I have to do is pick a subject, I guess. I know it can be a little daunting, especially when you aren't sure. My advice would be to go with a subject you enjoy and do well in. Far from me to be biased, but you are a rather talented historian. I chuckle. What can you do with a history degree, though? The skill you get from a history degree can transfer to a lot of other fields. A lot of historians that I knew went into journalism, academia, teaching, or even the law. Obviously, I'm not biased in any way, but history is the best subject to study. My science teacher says otherwise, sir. He grumbles to himself. Those haughty scientists. If they could just pry themselves away from their Bunsen burners and glass vials for 5 minutes. Anyway, it's good to know you've at least got a vague idea of what you want to do. There's no rush or anything. Just take some time to think about what you'd like to study at university. We can always have another discussion later. Will do, sir. Thank you. With the conversation over, I made my way to the club room for lunch. Oh, is this going to be the conversation where... I'm sorry. As I mentioned, there's going to be a lot of deja vu moments where I'm here like, hey, wait a minute, didn't I already go through this? Well, yes, I did, but now I'm going through it in another timeline. So this must be the timeline where we're going to discuss the future. Hey, guys. Hi, guys! Natsuki gives me a curt nod while Sayori gives me a wan smile. The door opens once more and Yuri walks in. Sayori's already weak smile wavers even further. She doesn't dislike her by any means, but it's clear that the jealousy is still an issue. I sigh inwardly. I have no clue on how to solve that issue, given I don't think Sayori is willing to discuss her depression with Yuri. As I pull out my food, I notice that Monica has barely greeted me, because she hates me! Her face is glued to her laptop, with a terse look on her face. Everything alright, Monica? She finally drags her eyes off the screen and looks at me, with bloodshot eyes, and a very demeaning frown on her face. It seems like she's only just realized I'm talking to her. Yeah, sorry. Had to sort out some important emails. How are you? It's easy to spot from a mile off that her smile is forced. I decide not to push it, because she will be next in line after Natsuki to kill me in my sleep. Not bad, not bad. Sakurai was just talking to me about what my plans are after high school. I think it's commonplace for all of the teachers to ask their students, given we're second years and the end of the semester isn't so far off. Huh, but that was fun. We don't have to bother with that stuff just yet. Lucky. I still really don't know what to do. I told him I wanted to go to university, but I can't really decide what I want to do. Starting to realize that I probably should have given this more thought. And this is the part where Monica hates me! Even more! That's a little irresponsible, Daniel. Your future holds so much weight and time flies by so quickly. Yeah, remember when it was January 2020? That felt like a few weeks ago to me. No kidding, so... like my aunt would tell me, it does fly by really quickly. A whole year could just pass by in the blink of an eye, and you'd be like, oh crap, what have I been doing? My face heats up a little from embarrassment. She's right, of course, but it seems like her judgment is coming out of nowhere. I know where it's coming from. I look at Sayori, half expecting her to jump at my defense. She doesn't, though. Instead, she idly pokes at a spot at the table. The other girls look curiously at us. They can sense that something is up. Yep, clearly so. I don't want to draw too much attention to Sayori, so I try to deflect their curiosity. So how about them Cowboys? Oh right, it's not football season. And I don't think it's relevant here in Japan. How about you, Yuri? Any ideas? I decided I want to study Japanese literature at university. Fitting choice. Yuri smiles to herself. You're not helping! Hoo-hoo. I suppose it comes as a surprise to no one. I can imagine it would be both an exciting yet daunting experience. University? Yes. On the one hand, there's the opportunity to meet many like-minded people, all within the same passion. Yet, there's so much independence, especially if you opt for a university far from home. And with that independence comes a lot of responsibility, and I'd imagine a fair degree of uncertainty. With great power comes great responsibility. Who knows what life will be like for all of us when we've left school? My question hangs in the air as the conversation lapses into silence. Monica mutters something under her breath. Something about hating me and wanting to kill me in my sleep. How about you, Monica? I bet you've got a lot of choice, given how you excel in pretty much every subject. She finally closes the laptop lid with a sigh. God, I hate that Daniel so much. My parents have been hounding me with the exact same question for months now. I'll probably take over their business. They're gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. You're gonna take over the family business, capiche? If not, you's gonna be sleeping with the vicious. Well, I hope that's not the kind of business you run. There's a hint of what sounds like bitterness in her voice. Granted, I know very little about her life. Well, at least anything beyond surface level, so it's a little baffling. Because I need to have my tragic backstory! But unfortunately I'm not going to get it for this mod because I'm sorry. I mean, in all honesty, I know it sounds like I'm like I'm a broken record here. But it does kind of disappoint me, low-key, that we're getting hints of her history here. Like, obviously, her parents are putting so much pressure on her, and she's obviously kind of working on fumes half the time. She literally has any time to herself, barely any time to even breathe. And like she's basically being forced to fit in this perfect box, expected to perform like this perfect wind-up doll every single time. But I mean, that's literally all I'm getting from just this. And I know that there could have been so much more, and it just disappoints me. But yeah, I know, I just have to kind of swallow my pride here, or... well, I don't know what the word would be, or what the phrase would be, but... I'm just gonna have to accept it. That's all I can do. But still, you can't help me from wondering about what could have been. What could a Monica route have been? We'll have to wait and see. An awkward silence descends upon the room. Clearly, it isn't just me who detected Monica's slightly hostile tone. Yeah. Well, it's not towards him, but I don't know. Luckily, Yuri breaks the silence. Are you alright, Sayori? You've been rather quiet. Yeah, that's not like you at all. Even Monica glances over at Sayori's direction. Oh, I'm fine. Just kinda tired, that's all. Don't worry about me. When you say don't worry, that's when I worry the most. The other girls don't look convinced in the slightest, but they don't have much chance to press her as the lunch bell rings. I remember being in their position last semester, and boy do I not envy them. Okay, and here we are, end of the school day. As the end of the school day rolls around, I find myself wandering down the corridor, waiting for Sayori to finish. Along the way, I bump into Monica. Hey, Daniel. I messed this part up last time, too. Hey, Daniel. She keeps her voice low and quickly looks around before speaking. I can tell what she's going to ask me. I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. But if you do refuse it, you're gonna be sleeping with the fishes. Capiche? Sorry, I'm just practicing what my parents would do. Is Sayori okay? She'll be fine. She's just dealing with some stuff, that's all. And by stuff, I mean inner demons that are tearing away at her sanity, her self-confidence, and her peace of mind. Compared to the last time she was acting off in school, you seem a lot less worried. You got a problem with that? That was when I knew less about her. She narrows her eyes at me. I guess what I said could have come across as pretty cryptic. Enough of this fortune cookie talk, Daniel. I want answers. Okay. Well, let me know if we can help in any way, okay? We? The other club members. We are all friends after all, don't forget. Oh, of course. Of course, how could I forget? What a stupid question, Daniel. Way to go, Kenobi. Pfft. It's appreciated. I'll see what Sayori thinks. Okay then. Well, I'll see you later. Bye. Please don't kill me. Well, I think Sayori is definitely more convincing than I am. She walks off, and after a couple of moments, Sayori comes out of her class. Sorry I'm late. It's okay. Let's go. Before I end up sleeping with the fishes. Do you know what was up with Monica? Oh, she just wanted to invite me to go sleeping with the fishes, that's all. Funny you mention her, because she just asked me what was up with you. Oh. What did you tell her? Nothing you can prove. I mean, just that you're dealing with some stuff. didn't give any specifics. You could be dealing with... Okay, I got nothing. And I'll be here all day if I try to think of something. They're worried about you, though. Have you considered telling them? No, not really. Okay, I think this is slightly different. I could be wrong. They're our friends, Sayori. They know something is up. I know. I can sense that this isn't a topic Sayori wants to discuss any further. Anyway, no, I don't know why Monica seems so snappy at lunch. I know why. Well, aside from my running joke of how she and Natsuki want to kill him in his sleep. She mentioned her parents, so they're probably being a bit overbearing. A bit? Try a lot. Must be difficult to maintain that model that model strudel image. No, I don't even know what that would be. Must be difficult to maintain that model student image. When you're at the top, the only place to go from there is down. Down, 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 until you hit rock bottom. Clang! Juggling academics with sports and other extracurriculars must be really stressful. I don't know how she does it, to be honest. Neither do I. Anyways, I feel a little sorry for Natsuki, though. The conversation kinda excluded her. I know for sure that when I was a first year, post-school plans hadn't even crossed my mind. Yeah, I thought that too. Well, we'll make sure to include her next time. Good shout. Huh? That's not a good shout. And I'm not gonna do a good shout otherwise. Yeah, I don't think anyone would want to hear me shout, and I don't want to hear the recording later. After dumping our things inside, I pull out my phone. I really should have talked to Mom a while ago, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna make me feel really bad about it. Feel bad about it. Hey, Mom. Ah, Daniel. Nice of you to remember you have a mother. Stop. Okay, well I know that's not aimed at me, but still. I winced slightly. I knew this was coming. Yeah, that's right. Well, I guess me kind of turning the tables here for a moment. Don't take your parents for granted. Because one day, you'll have that phone in your hand and you'll want to call them about something, and then you'll realize that you can't. Either because the number's been disconnected, or because no one's gonna answer on the other line. Well, yeah, that got dark pretty fast, but... I mean, no joke, though. At the very least, as someone who misses their mother dearly. Don't take it for granted. Make sure you talk to your parents as often as you can, because, frankly, sometimes all of you may not have as much time in the world as you thought. I know my mom didn't expect her life to be cut so short. I know. I really should have called you earlier. It's not that I didn't want to or anything. Anyway, Sayori is with me right now. Do you want to say hello? Okay, yeah, well this is obviously very different. I'd love to. I press a button on my phone, which transforms the call into a video call. My goodness, is that really you, Sayori? No, it's the neighborhood prowler that I've told you about. Isn't she cute? Okay, no. The last time I saw you, you were barely a teenager. Sayori laughed shyly. I guess I am putting her on the spot here a little. Hi! Man. Hi! It's really nice to see you again. Okay, well, I just realized the mom voice and the Sayori voice they're kinda similar. So this is gonna be fun. I've never had to do both voices back to back. And you, dear. I hope Daniel has been treating you well. I shoot Sayori a desperate look. Please, don't do this to me. This could be the perfect opportunity to enact some revenge for all the times I teased her. Okay, so yeah, he's literally here like, please, don't do this. I'm begging you. Of course, he's been really good to me. Like a good boyfriend. Clearly. That's lovely to... Jeez. That's lovely to hear. Looks like my little prince has truly matured. As I told you in another timeline that you don't remember, this isn't a book, or a Netflix movie of the same name. They share a laugh as I turn slightly red from embarrassment. Oh, stop! You're embarrassing me! Mom, really? Little Prince? I told you, or I'm gonna tell you, we're not in that book, or movie. I'm sorry, darling. I'm just so proud of you. Well, at least we've established what Sayori is gonna be calling me for the next few days. Hey there, little prince! How are you doing? They continue to giggle at my expense. Why must you torment me like this? He's always been like this, hasn't he? I have not. Quick to tease others, but once they do it to him, he gets all huffy. Sayori, do not take her side. If you do, I'm breaking up with you. Okay, no. You're my girlfriend! She's trying and failing to keep a straight face. Okay, no more teasing. Sorry, I just had to get you back for not calling me for so long. How did your December exams go? I briefly described my results, along with Sakurai's comments. Well, that's reassuring to hear. I was worrying how you'd fare living by yourself, so I'm glad to hear that your academics are going so well. Sakurai has a point, though. Your grades in math could be much better, young man. Sayori, you're gonna have to knock him into shape. He's always been bad with discipline. You gotta shape up? 'Cause I need a man. And okay, well, no, I'm not gonna sing that song. I don't even remember how most of it goes. I just remember the I got chills, they're multiplying. And yeah, and then the it's electrifying! And yeah, so I don't know the rest of the words right now. And I'm not gonna... This isn't a live stream. I'm not gonna stop and try to look up the song just so I can be like, okay, now I know what the song is and sing it. I snort in derision. And you're asking Sayori of all people to help me with that? Hey! Mom sighs dramatically. Yare dase. Sorry, Sayori. He can be really mean sometimes, can't he? Must have got that from his father. There's an awkward silence. Things have been very rocky between Mom and Dad since the divorce. Oh, by the way, I've got some good news. I just saved money on my car insurance by switching to Geico. Okay, no. We've almost finished dealing with this particular client, and I have no one else to deal with for a week. So I'm hoping to come and see you soon. My heart races. As much as I've loved being able to basically live with Sayori, seeing Mom again after so long would be really nice. That's awesome, Mom. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll be looking forward to this. Oh, I've been meaning to ask you, how have... She's cut short by the sound of someone calling her. It sounds pretty urgent. Now we'll never know! Ah, no, I was hoping I'd have more time to talk to you. Sorry, darling, I'm gonna have to go. We'll catch up properly, all three of us, when I come to visit you. Don't forget it's Valentine's Day coming up soon, and I want to hear all about how you've been treating Sayori like a princess for it. Okay, well at least that bit of dialogue is still the same, more or less. And she's like... She laughs softly and waves goodbye. Click. I forgot how nice your mom is. Yeah, she's always been such a good parent. She was a lifesaver back in November after our fight. You're such a mommy's boy. Is my name Sephiroth? You can't... Could that name even fit in this? I was just thinking back to whatever mod it was that I tried that. Okay, well. Hey! It's a good thing! It's really cute! I get the feeling you're mocking me, but I can't know. But because I know I can't win this battle, I'll reluctantly concede. You're mocking me, aren't you? Oh, no, no, no. Boss-looking alien! Where? Okay, no. The Ice Queen wins again! Okay, she's still going on with that. You're a real clown, you know that? I was tempted to make a joke about a certain developer, but I'm not going to. True, but I'm your clown! Okay, you're burying yourself deeper in the hole here. You could have just left it at that, and you're like, oh no, I'm gonna bring up Yuri again, and... Why are you so stupid? Estúpido! Idiota! You make me so angry, I'm starting to get all emotional and delve into the Spanish language. And I only do that when I get really, really emotional or worked up. I would say ask my mom, but, well. Anyways. Fine, I'll say the line. I prefer the one from that horror movie we watched with Yuri. Such a charmer. Okay, well, she's actually taking this a lot better than I thought she'd be. You know, given that he's mentioning another woman's name from a moment when he just let her swagger in and... you know the whole spiel. The rest of the day passes by relatively quickly. After finishing our homework, we spent the evening kicking back with some video games. This has been our routine for a while now. Sayori coming over, we finish our homework, and then relax. It's simple, but effective. And that's probably the best way to go. As long as it's effective, then I see no problem. I'm glad that we're both happy to just sit back and relax in each other's company. Because really, I mean, well, I guess Mr. Dating Expert over here, but good relationship needs to have little moments like that. Because obviously, if you can't enjoy each other's company, or worst case scenario, you can't stand to be around one another, then there's gonna be problems. Then again, Sayori has never been a high-maintenance kind of girl. Uptown girl, she's been living in her white bread world. And she's been looking for a downtown man. Okay, no. Watching her now, with her sky blue eyes narrowed in concentration. God, I love her. Is now the right time to say it, though? No. That's like picking out your wedding cake on your first date. Which... have they even had their first date, technically speaking? I know I've joked before and said like, oh right, it's such and such date, but, you know, I'm just saying. What if she doesn't feel the same way? That'd be a little awkward, to say the least. Nah, now isn't the time. It's not the time. I was curious, Sayori. What do you want to do after you finish school? You didn't say anything at lunch. Oh boy, we're finally gonna know! Or not, I don't know. I don't really know. She sighs.
I thought that going into therapy might be a good idea, but... No, forget it.
Wait, what?
It's a stupid idea.
Huh? It's not stupid at all.
It is. I don't know if I'd even be any good at it.
Oh, she means to actually be doing therapy herself? Well, hold on here. Let's talk this through. Don't strike that yet.
I can't even help myself, so how can I help others?
Well, ironically, I kind of thought the same thing, and yet... For a while, I even had friends coming to me for advice. In some cases, even, like, actual dating advice. And I used to think to myself, like... I've had such terrible luck with dating, why would you come to me? I'm terrible at it. But sure enough, well... I mean, some of my friends have agreed with some of my tips and whatever. So... You know, in a sense... And I guess a part of the reason why I sort of quote-unquote bother telling these stories is... If I can help make a difference in someone's life through sharing my experiences, or in some cases my familiarity with the experiences of others, well, at the very least, it can make me feel a little better knowing that, you know, I can possibly make a difference in somebody's life. If, by sharing my own experiences, they can learn from it. So, you know, in that sense, I almost feel like if you have a lot of wisdom and experience to share with someone, I mean, why not share it with people? You're good at keeping the spirits high in the club, at least. People appreciate having you around, and it's definitely more comfortable an atmosphere when you're there.
It's one thing to keep peace in a high school club, but helping people with really big problems as a therapist... You know, the really horrible things that people have to live with. It's a whole other story.
Have you mentioned it to your teacher, at least? They might be able to point you in the right direction. She shrugs nonchalantly.
I haven't, no. Truthfully, I haven't thought about the future much.
Well, at least we're alike in that sense, although our reasoning for it is rather different.
We've got plenty of time, though, right?
Yeah, I guess we do. Well, you say that now, but just don't just twiddle your thumbs as Rome burns to the ground, as my history teacher once said about one of the Roman emperors. Because yes, it's just gonna zoom on by really fast and you're not even gonna see it coming. The conversation tails off into silence. I suppose thinking about the future is quite difficult for Sayori, so I make a mental note not to push it. Anyway, it's getting late. Let's call it a night.
Can it be the big spoon tonight? Or can I be the big spoon at night?
What? What? What is this? Not sure how that worked, but sure. Wait, I don't even know what I'm agreeing to here. Okay, well, I guess it's not important. I'm here like, what is this talk about being the big spoon? What does that mean? It better not be. Well, I don't know. I can't tell. Well, whatever. As Sakurai finishes explaining the morning's task and settles down to mark some papers, I find myself absent-mindedly fiddling with my pen. No. Pulling open my textbook, I flip to the relevant page. Suddenly, I'm aware of a poking sensation on my shoulder. Morning, Emmy.
Morning, Pee-wee.
Hello, Francis.
Today's my birthday, and...
Okay, no. Surprised you weren't late today.
Hey, it's not my fault track practice ran on for so long today.
I mean, isn't it? Don't you decide how many laps you run? So it's your fault that you're late.
Semantics, Daniel.
I chuckled to myself. If you say so. Anyway, you wouldn't happen to have any good Valentine's ideas, would you? Mom brought it up yesterday. I didn't realize how quickly Valentine's has come around this year. Ha! You see, I told you. You're here thinking to yourself, oh yeah, we got plenty of time, whatever, and now you're just here like, hey, can you give me some ideas? I didn't realize it was right around the corner so quickly.
My boyfriend only got out of the hospital a few days ago, so we're just taking things slow. I think he mentioned wanting to take me to a tea house, though.
Tea house? Huh. Hospital? Is he alright? Damn it, I knew he shouldn't have gone bungee jumping. Damn it, Steve! Well, then again, I don't know Steve, and...
Yeah, just...
Oh my god, really? What?
Yeah, just hard stuff.
Wait, what? Don't change the subject, what? Oh... Okay, fine, but still, that is some pretty scary business there, not gonna lie. Especially since I think, like, my grandmother had a heart attack or a stroke. There's still conflicting stories about that. My grandfather had a stroke. My aunt had a heart attack, which led to heart failure, and she had a lot of heart problems to begin with, so... Yeah, I hear that, I'm here like, wait, oh my god, what? Like, in a sense, I'm just here like, hold the phone here. Like, I'm legitimately concerned here. Especially when I hear that they're in the hospital and I think back to my aunt, and... It was just terrible.
Anyway, what have you and Sayori got planned?
That's what I was asking you for. Neither of us have really mentioned doing anything for it. I've never done anything for Valentine's before, so I'm totally out of my depth here. Amy giggles. There's a playful, mocking air to her laughter.
She's your girlfriend, Daniel. Shouldn't you know her the best?
Yeah, but... relationships, man, they're confusing. Tell me about it. Even if you're in your 20s, they're confusing as all hell. Well, I guess even for my mother, as she got older, it was confusing too, so... Yeah. Relationships at any age, any point in life, they're confusing.
Just ask her. Sometimes it doesn't hurt to be direct. Well, unless she's expecting a surprise from you, that is.
Surprise!
Then, well, you're on your own there.
Some help you are. What happened to female intuition? Is it not working for you today? Is it on vacation?
We can't give you all the answers, Daniel.
Oh, come on! Seriously, you expect us to read minds and be able to figure things out, and it's just not possible.
Sometimes you gotta work things out for yourself.
Yeah, because me trying to figure out what the best thing to say and do in our relationship is going so well. Life's unfair. Yup. Well, life's unfair, get used to it. That's what somebody told me once. After class ends, I make my way to the club room. As I open the door, I realize that it's just Natsuki inside. When was the last time I even spoke to her alone? I don't remember. I really don't. Well.
Hey.
No, don't kill me! I mean, hi. Afternoon. Listen, I need your help with something. She looks at me suspiciously. I'm sorry, okay? With what? Well, you're a girl and...
Ugh. Thanks for noticing.
Well, you're off to a good start here. And Well, where would a girl want to be taken for Valentine's Day?
And how long have you known Sayori for?
Why does this sound so familiar? Yeah, right here, see? Did you already forget? Is it really a crime for me to ask for some Valentine suggestions? Apparently it is now. A while, but in my defense, I've only been with her for, what, 2 months? I was thinking of, like, some kind of restaurant, but I don't know which ones are good or not. Take her to Pistol Pete's Pizza, because everybody loves it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. The door opens and Monica and Yuri walk in.
What are you two talking about?
Oh no! And then I run out the door. Okay, no. I glance desperately at Natsuki, hoping she doesn't expose me in front of everyone. She's gonna bust and disgust me, I know it. Just look at that smile. You know she's planning something. You see, I told you! I told you, I freaking told you! I knew it!
Daniel was asking me where he should take his girlfriend for Valentine's Day.
I groan. Well, she killed me in one way. Today, that's for sure. Jeez, when you put it like that...
I just needed some pointers, that's all.
Oh my god, no! I mean, the door opens a second time and Sayori wanders in. Okay, well this is the big one. If she says something here, then I'll really die. I'll die and I won't be able to come back. Well, I don't know if... I'm sure she would catch on, though.
If it were down to me, I wouldn't even bother. Valentine's is pointless. All that sappy stuff. Yuck.
Well, if we get down to my actual feelings for Valentine's Day, it's just a pointless holiday meant to sell cards. It's Hallmark's favorite holiday because that's when they get to sell all those Valentine's Day cards. And chocolate. And... well, roses actually, yes. Roses are... They are one of those kind of symbols of Valentine's Day. And one of my favorite flowers, so...
People hugging and kissing in public, giving each other sappy cards. No thanks.
No PDA! And yeah, you see the cards.
It's quite a romantic... It's quite a romantic day, though. People telling their partners how much they mean to them. All the little gifts, the thoughtfulness.
Did you know there was a murder on Valentine's Day? You know, with what happened with Saint Valentine? He was murdered.
Yeah, it's great if you like that, but keep it away from me.
Well, I guess I was gonna say, what the heck happened with Natsuki's route, but then... Damn, it's been 2 months and I don't even remember Natsuki's route anymore. Did we do... Was there anything that happened on Valentine's... Oh wait, yes, now I remember. The romantic dinner or whatever that he planned, and then Sayori was there and she got all up in arms and... Okay, now I remember.
Something else I don't get is that Valentine's is supposed to be a day where you show your love for your partner, blah blah blah. But aren't you supposed to do that every day? Or aren't you meant to do that every day?
And that's what I'm seeing. I mean, okay, yeah, I guess it's nice to have a day dedicated specifically to that, but then... In reality, you should be doing that every single day. Like, I think one bit of advice I heard was... Like, even when you're married, treat it like you're still dating. In that sense that you're still whining and dining and treating them within reason. I mean, don't be taking her out to, like, the finest restaurant and spending $300 on a fancy dinner every single night. Unless, of course, $300 is pocket change to you, but still. Point being that instead of just doing nothing, and then Valentine's comes and you're like freaking Casanova and you have this great day, and then the next day it's nothing. You should at least be trying to kind of do that a bit sporadically, you know? Instead of just waiting until one day out of the year to do something special. But at least that's... Darn, I wish I could remember what that saying was or whatever. But it's kind of to the effect of that, where... Yeah, instead of just... Okay, like, something to the effect of, even when you're married, you've got her, still treat like you're trying to win her over. There you go, that's what it is, something like that. So essentially, like, yes, even though you're in a committed relationship, still treat her like you're trying to win over her heart and really make her feel special. To basically show her, like, I care this much about you to the point where I will continue to treat you this way because this is how much you mean to me. And I would be absolutely devastated to not have you in my life as I do right now. You know, something like that. See? Natsuki and I have your numbers.
Thought so.
So it's safe to say that Cupid doesn't shoot you with any arrow this year then, huh? Meh. Well, damn it, Monica hates me! Well, okay, yeah, both of them hate me. She glares at me as Sayori giggles.
We all know you're a softie at heart, Natsuki. I am not. There's nothing wrong with admitting it. Just wait until you get a boyfriend.
Okay, well. As we're digging into our food, Monica taps me on the shoulder. No, I don't want to sleep with the fishes! Okay, so I pretty much turned Natsuki into... Well, I've turned Monica into a lot of things. She's a sakurai. She's apparently got friends in high places. And of course the big one is that she hates me.
I think I might have a solution to your crisis.
Oh?
There's a really nice restaurant in town that I went to last year with the debate club.
Oh great, with all your rich friends. Don't tell your parents I said that. I don't want to be sleeping with the fishes.
It's called the Amber Beehive, and their food is really good.
Amber Beehive. Well, as long as it's nothing like the Honeybee Inn, then we're good.
It's a little on the formal side, though, so you'd probably have to wear something smart. See if Sayori has a dress or something.
Seems kinda sophisticated. Would they take a bunch of teenagers? If you have money, yes.
Of course they would. Why wouldn't they?
Well, because you see, I don't have money like you do, Monica. Don't tell your parents I said that. Well, the formal dress code and all. Wouldn't we feel really out of place? Sorry, I'm just, well, as you can see, new to dating and all that.
It's okay. Don't overthink it, though. Just see it as a fancy date, that's all. I'm sure Sayori would like it as well. I think the music will really suit the atmosphere. Pretty jazzy.
Okay, so now I just have to acquire a taste for freeform jazz. Okay, no. Well, I listen to Chicago. Their music is kind of jazzy. Is that good enough? Thanks, then. I'll look into it tonight.
That's okay. Sayori will be impressed. And don't worry, I won't tell her you got the idea from me.
Stupid sexy Monica! You're a lifesaver, Monica. But still, stupid sexy Monica!
Don't mention it. Oh, I forgot to say. I'm sorry for snapping at you at lunchtime yesterday.
You hurt my feelings! Do you realize how much that hurt my feelings?
Parents.
That's okay. I imagine you had a lot on your plate. Besides, you rescued my Valentines, so you've redeemed yourself. Monica, redeem yourself!
That's good to hear. Oh, and by the way, you can never go wrong with the fried squid.
Stupid sexy Monica! Okay, or stupid sexy Monica. Duly noted. Yeah, I guess the only way you can get my joke is if you watch A Lull in the Sea. Maybe I'll be able to salvage this Valentine's after all. Maybe, I don't know. So, what are our Valentine's plans? Sayori?
Huh? Oh, sorry, I was spacing out. I don't know, to be honest. I haven't really given it much thought.
Oh, whew. I'm glad it isn't just me. Then you're both very terrible at planning for Valentine's Day. Well, actually, in most cases, it's supposed to be the guy in this sort of situation that plans it. I was worrying you would have expected me to have something planned. What with this being my first relationship and all, I'm hardly experienced in that department. She giggled softly at my sheepishness.
Don't worry about it, Daniel. We can just play it by ear tomorrow.
Winging it, eh? Yeah, that sounds more like me. I don't know, I'm just making this up as I go along.
Anyway, I've been really lagging behind with homework. I've got a lot to do, so do you mind if we don't spend this evening together?
Well, this is convenient. Now I can look up bookings for the restaurant without giving away the surprise.
Oh, sure.
I was just about to say the same thing, actually. I'll see you tomorrow, then?
Okay. See you later, Daniel.
She gives me a quick kiss and heads off inside. See, I mean, just look at her. This is a huge difference between the other route and this one. Like, she actually seems a little more upbeat and happy, in a sense. As I settle onto the sofa, I quickly notice that the living room lights are on. There's also some sound coming from the kitchen. Oh my god, the Prowler broke in! At least he didn't steal my picture of Saitama. That's my most prized possession. I can't live without my picture of Saitama. That's weird. There's no reason for anything to be making noise in the kitchen, and I always turn the lights off in the living room before I go to school. That's why I'm telling you. It's the neighborhood Prowler! And they're here for my Saitama picture! Or it could be someone else. In an attempt to stop the sudden bout of panic, I force myself to rationalize the situation. It can't be a burglar, because they wouldn't make this much noise. Unless it's the neighborhood Prowler. Actually, no. I doubt they would be that noisy. So that must mean... Hello? Anyone here? A familiar voice greets me back.
Daniel? Is that you?
No, it's the neighborhood Prowler. I'm here to steal your son's most prized possession. Mom! A huge grin forms on my face as I spot my mom emerging from the kitchen, a warm smile on her face. I rush forward and embrace her. It feels so good to have her back.
I didn't know you were coming today. I wanted to keep it a surprise, dear.
Surprise. We let go and she looks me over.
I'm so sorry that you've been alone for so long. I tried so hard to come back earlier, but business was having none of it.
It's okay. I'm just glad you're here now. I sniff the air. Something smells delicious. Are you making something?
Yes, teriyaki, one of your favorites.
You're the best. Seriously.
Always nice to be reminded. It's almost ready.
I'll give you a hand. Okay. Yes, I know I'm stupid for doing that joke. She ruffles my hair.
It's okay, sweetheart. My treat for you. There isn't much left to do anyway.
Are you sure?
Positive.
It's only as I'm wolfing my food down do I realize how hungry I am. Mom's cooking has always been incredible, too.
Enjoying yourself, I see.
Can you blame me? I haven't met anyone who can cook better than you can. She laughs heartily.
So, let's have that long-awaited catch-up. Tell me about how everything has been since you joined that club.
I finished eating and pushed my plate away. Sighing contentedly, I pat my stomach. It's like, it's good food! I actually... And Joey thinks I called him over. Yes, Joey, I'm here. Well, as you know, it all started when I saw Sayori on the sidewalk. It all started when I was born. It's like, okay, now we're just gonna recount the entire game up until this point. Once I start, it's almost impossible to stop. There's so much to say, so much to describe. At least 10 videos worth of hour or so long videos so far. Now that we aren't limited by short phone calls, I can finally go into detail into what life's been like since September. Do you remember? Dancing in light in September. And something to say on. It wasn't a cloudy day. Ah-dee-da-da-da, dancing in September. Ah-dee-da-da-da. Okay, no. After describing the first few days, I recall how the festival went. Don't mention that name! She shakes her head as I recall how those inconsiderate pricks acted. The peanut gallery who we haven't seen in forever, thankfully.
Unbelievable. Some people just have absolutely no respect.
No dignity. No kidding. The worst part was that it caused Natsuki and Monika to have a really bad argument. Okay, I wonder... In Natsuki's route, when he talks about this, there's some nuances between who you side with. I quickly go over that, not wanting to dwell too much on the fight. It's still something I'd rather forget. Okay, never mind. So that choice didn't matter in the end. Mom smiles as I recount how my feelings for Sayori started to blossom. Oh, and then there was Halloween. Did I mention that there's a maniac running around in the school? Well, dressed up. you flat out tell your mother we broke into school. What is wrong with you? Well, I mean, that's exactly what happened, but still... I have to see what the mom's reaction to all this is. We all dressed up, broke into school, wrote some spooky poems, and summoned a Shinto spirit. You did what now? Dressed up? Not that. Wrote some spooky poems? You know what I'm referring to. No, duh, what do you think she was referring to, you idiots? Seriously. Idiota. Oh, the breaking into school thing. No, the part where you summoned a killer Shinto spirit. She doesn't look very impressed. I'm very disappointed in you, son. Where did I go wrong? Come on, Mom. It was just a bit of harmless fun. Yeah, sure, that'll definitely convince her. Didn't you say you called a spirit over? Yes, I called it over so we could hang out, and hopefully not have it kill me. Because Natsuki and Monika already want to do that. Okay, maybe not entirely harmless then. But for what it's worth, we all had fun, and it was a really nice bonding experience. And nobody died. She sighs under her breath. Teenagers these days get their enjoyment from the weirdest things. Okay, so maybe playing around with a Ouija board wasn't the wisest idea. Because of Ouija!
Ouija!
But hey, it'll be a good story for my kids, right? If you live that long, and... You know? Seriously, how is he still alive?
If you say so, Daniel.
Anyway, so then when November rolled around, and then, okay, and the rest of the evening rolls around, we've both had a lot to talk about, and the time has really flown. She yawns.
Well, it definitely sounds like you've had a hectic past few months. Girls, Secret Santas, and Shinto spirits. Shinto ghosts. What a mix.
Yeah, when you put it that way.
Anyway, I'm still quite tired from my flight, so I'll have to have an early night. I'll be around for a while, so we can carry on tomorrow.
Yeah, sure thing. I've got a lot of homework to be getting on with anyway, so that's fine.
Good boy. I love you, Daniel.
Love you too, Mom. See you tomorrow. Okay, now what? After grabbing a drink from the kitchen, I walk over to my bag and pull out the relevant textbooks. Let's get this over with. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Just as I'm about to begin, I feel my phone buzz. No, Yuri, I don't want to marry you. How did I know?
Evening, Daniel. Do you have plans for this evening?
Yes, it's called doing homework. You should try it sometime. Yeah, sorry, Yuri. Have a lot of homework to be getting on with.
Oh, what do you have to do? Perhaps I could help you out.
No. Stay away from me. I am the summoner, so stay away from me. I pause with my fingers hovering over the screen. Sayori never said that I couldn't hang out with Yuri, and I don't think she's the controlling type. Ugh, seriously, what is wrong with you? This is what I mean. How is he still... But even though I know I'm not doing anything inherently wrong by spending time with Yuri, no, don't do it, man. I can't help but feel like I'd make Sayori's jealousy worse if I did. You would be, so... No, absolutely not. Seriously. Seriously, just... But then again, I did say I'd help Yuri out with her loneliness. His heart's in the right place, but... There's just gonna be a whole lot of conflict between him and Sayori down the line, I can already tell. Although this was before I knew the impact it'd have on Sayori. Just make the damn decision already! Nah, it's okay. There's a lot to do, but I can handle it. Good man. You made the right decision. Thanks, though. Now stay away from me! There's a pause in her reply.
It's okay, Daniel. I hope you have a pleasant evening.
No means no, Yuri. No. No. I can't help but feel guilty as I put my phone away. I hope she doesn't think I'm ignoring her. Well, considering I've seen what happens if you actually give her more than... Well, you know the saying, give them an inch, they'll take a mile. If you give her an inch, then... Well, a whole lot of bad things will happen, and then I'm gonna cry on camera again, and then I'm gonna get depressed for 2-3 days, and we don't want that. Oh, and then, well, there's obviously the big reason why I was crying with what happened with Sayori, which just totally destroyed me. Given her personality, it's definitely possible. Why can't this just be simple and not so complicated? Because life isn't simple. There's going to be a lot of complications and conundrums. You'd think that for my first relationship, life would be nice and not throw me into the deep end. Like that'll ever happen. I mull it over as I finish the rest of my homework. I climb into bed feeling exhausted. Today wasn't a taxing day, at least physically. From a mental perspective, it's a whole other story. I still wish that I could do much more for Sayori, and the uncertainty on how to deal with Yuri isn't helping. Still, it's nice to know that I'm not Still, it's nice to know that I'm not alone in the house. It'll probably be worth talking to Mom about the whole situation with Sayori tomorrow. I probably should have talked to Mom a little more. She's been in my exact same position before. But she's tired. Didn't you hear her? Let her rest. Ah well, better late than never, right? Okay, then nothing of any relative importance happened whatsoever. So how far away is Valentine's Day? I'm just saying, because given how Valentine's Day worked out with Yuri, yeah, there's a good chance I'm gonna have to do some major cutting if things get a little too caliente for this video. I wake up the next morning to the sound of activity coming from downstairs. I almost forgot that Mom is an early riser. That's something I definitely didn't inherit from her. I yawn and stretch, checking the time. Huh, 10 a.m. Looks like it isn't so early after all. Morning, Mom.
You're up early.
Very funny. I've been up before noon loads of times, actually.
Looks like you really have changed while I've been gone, eh?
Rolling my eyes at her little jab, I notice the abundance of food on the kitchen table.
So it's Valentine's Day.
Oh god, it's today.
What have you got planned with Sayori?
A romantic candlelit dinner? Possibly. Taking a seat, I opt for the jam toast. Jam. I don't know. Good answer.
What do you have planned for Valentine's Day?
I don't know. Monica mentioned this fancy restaurant in town, so I thought I'd take Sayori there.
Which one?
Amber Beehive, I think it's called.
Amber Beehive.
And no, it's not the Honeybee Inn. She said it's jazzy, leans on the formal side too, and should not have a whole bunch of waitresses who dress like honeybees.
Ah, yes, I know it now. Monica has good taste. Sayori will love it.
Well, I told you, Monica does have friends in high places. Good, good. We could probably do with a nice day after everything that's happened so far.
Oh? Everything okay?
We can talk about it when I get back, if that's okay. I kinda want to focus on the positives today.
Of course. Today will be a great day, don't you worry.
She smiles encouragingly at me. I hope so. Anyway, what are you going to do today?
Well, it's been such a long time since I've been home that I've almost forgotten what free time feels like. This country and its work ethic. Anyway, I figured I could start with some housekeeping. You've let this place get a little dusty and messy, young man.
Sorry, it's never been my strong suit.
There's also some business things I have to sort out, but thankfully I can do those on my laptop.
Even when you're at home, you can't really catch a break, can you? Isn't that how it works? She smiles ruefully.
Adult life, Daniel.
Yeah. So enjoy it while you can, because once you get to my point in life, or her point in life, you're gonna see that it's not all cracked up to be anymore, and free time is gonna be a godsend.
Now, haven't you got a certain someone to see?
I'm on it. After freshening up and shooting Sayori a text, I make my way over to her house. Hey, Sayori. She's on the bed, sitting up. There's a pen and paper in her hands, and it looks like she's writing a poem.
Hi, Daniel.
What do you want to do today, then?
About that.
Oh, no. No! No! No!
This must be really disappointing to hear, so I'm sorry.
What is it?
I'm not really in the mood to hang out today. There's just some things I need to think about, and I don't want to be distracted. It's nothing personal.
I try my best not to fight off the sinking feeling of disappointment. I know. No, it's cool. Don't worry about it, okay? Just give me a shout if you want to talk, alright? You know where I am. Like 10 feet away. Or, well, you know what I mean.
I know it's Valentine's today, so it's really selfish of me, but...
It's fine, really. Not selfish at all. I'd much rather you did what you wanted to do, instead of you feeling like you have to come out or anything. We can always hang out another day.
Thank you, Daniel. You've always been really understanding.
Okay, yeah, so this was the point where... Like, this was pretty much the turning point here, where the bad ending was really in full swing, and everything went to hell. It's the least I can do. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. And now we have this dreary music again. Well, that changes things a bit. And by a bit, I mean a lot. I'm a little downhearted. I know Sayori loves romance, and today would have been the perfect day to show her how much she means to me. Granted, the decision has been made. At least I can talk it over with Mom. Mom's sitting at the table, beavering away on her laptop. She looks surprised.
You're back early?
I slide into the chair opposite of her. Or the chair opposite her. Yeah, Sayori doesn't really feel like hanging out today. Said there's some stuff she needs to think about, so I left her to it. I bury my face in my hands. When Mom speaks, her tone is gentle.
It's not easy, is it?
It really isn't. I know you warned me about it, and I thought I was prepared, but... I never really know what to do. I like to think that I'm making a positive difference, but I don't know anymore. I've seen what could happen if you didn't do what you're at least doing now, so let me say, you're making some bit of a positive difference on her. And by some bit, I mean a whole lot.
What makes you doubt that?
Well, she kind of snapped at me once when I told her I knew how she felt. Well, do you really know how she feels, first of all? That's why I say you gotta choose your words very carefully. She said that I couldn't possibly know what depression feels like, and that my words are just empty. But she also says that it's helpful having me around, and that me just being able to listen does make a difference. So I really don't know.
For what it's worth, darling, you're doing your best, and that's all we can ask for. Take today, for example. You wanted to spend time with her, right? Take her to a nice restaurant? You were looking forward to it. But even though she wasn't up for it, you didn't get angry at her or hold it against her. You were understanding, and you let her do what she wanted to do. That's precisely the kind of patience and understanding I was talking about back in November.
Yeah, you see. Instead of just getting all up in arms and forcing her to go to the restaurant, you're letting her have her time to sort things out herself. And especially, he even said it himself, instead of like forcing her to go out when she's not feeling the best, you know.
She said it herself. She values having you around, and whether you realize it or not, you have made life that much better for her.
No, I've made it worse in some ways.
How so?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. You know Yuri, right? We went Christmas shopping for each other in December, and I saw her in the park once after Sayori and I had a falling out. We've grown a little closer, and Yuri confided that she's really lonely. Okay. We're gonna tell her about this awkward love triangle that's formed here. I agreed to spend more time with her, and totally didn't factor in how Sayori would feel about it. No, you didn't.
Jealousy, I assume.
Jealousy with a hint of self-confidence problems. Or I guess self-value problems. Yeah, I'm an idiot. How did I not realize that would happen? I was so inconsiderate.
Not inconsiderate at all, sweetie. Not inconsiderate at all, sweetie. Your heart's always been in the right place. You just wanted to help a friend in need, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, given how this is projecting onto Sayori, it's just kind of feeding into that inferiority complex that she's having. That's ultimately being powered by her depression. Or something to that effect. Which is just basically making her feel more terrible, that she's even at some point thinking like he'd be happier with Yuri as his girlfriend, and well, you know the nightmare she had, so. But now I'm in this really weird situation. I want to spend time with Yuri because I hate the thought of her being lonely, but I don't want to make Sayori feel any worse. And obviously, like today, if he were to go spend time with Yuri, that would be a really, really big affirmative no. Sayori didn't tell me that I couldn't hang out with Yuri or anything. She's not like that at all. Yeah, not like Natsuki. I sigh. And I can't tell Yuri about why I can't hang out with her because I don't want her to find out about Sayori's depression. Girls. Mom laughs softly. She puts a reassuring hand on my shoulder.
Well, let's try looking at this from another angle. She's agreed to try therapy, right? How's that going?
Okay, well... When I was there, it was going well, I guess. Her therapist is really nice, never insensitive with his questioning, and she's working well with him. She's on antidepressants now, and she started going to therapy sessions alone. Okay, so that's already happened.
That's excellent news, sweetie. That's a really big step to make, so the fact she's made it is really promising. From my own experience, that independence is really important.
Okay, yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking, too.
You can't always be there for your partner, and at the end of the day, you're the one who has to deal with their depression.
So kind of like what I was hinting at in the Yuri route. Exactly, you can't always be coming to their rescue. Eventually, your partner needs to be able to stand on their own 2 feet. Otherwise, they're going to become over-reliant on you, and then... Well, I'm not going to get into that again, because that also made me feel depressed for a while.
When I was dating Shinji, we found that his depression was easier to manage after he attended a few sessions by himself.
Shinji. Oh my god, you were dating him? Well, no wonder. Shinji was very depressed. I mean, considering what happened to his mom, and then his dad being this stupid jerk who was sleeping with half of the nerve people, and then what he did with Rei, and then how he was like, get into the fucking robot, Shinji, or Rei's gonna have to do it again. You know? Shinji had a lot of issues, so it's like, geez, no wonder. So then what happened to Shinji, Mom? Can you tell me? Well, I saw End of Evangelion, so I know what happened to him. Kind of. Yeah, kind of. I think I do.
You said that she has a really good therapist, so have faith, darling. It's a long, slow process, but it sounds like she's made good progress already.
Sheesh, Mom, you sound like a psychologist yourself.
Well, I did take psychology modules while I was at university, you know. My experience with depression really opened my eyes to mental health.
Well, my experience with depression has opened my eyes to mental health as well. Okay, Good, the dreary music is gone now. Funny you mention that, because I was considering going into psychology at university. Oh, this is different. Huh. So now he's actually considering that. I wonder, maybe it's because of Sayori? Well, it's definitely gotta be because of Sayori, but also since she was mentioning about being a therapist herself. Sakurai was asking me about my future plans.
Well, if that's what you're interested in, and your grades are good enough, I'd encourage you to, Daniel. Especially in a country like this one, which has some pretty unhelpful attitudes when it comes to mental health.
Ah, yes. In fact, I even believe that there's a term in Japan for businessmen who essentially work themselves to the bone and, well, you know. So, yes. I suppose so. Yeah, it seems like a good choice, right? I've still got time, but I figured it'd be helpful to start thinking about post-school plans now. Oh man, look at... He's a man with a plan right now. He's really taking charge. She nods approvingly.
Yes, that's definitely a smart thing to do. What about the other girls?
After I fill her in, she sits back, looking thoughtful. I can really see where I got my reflective side from. Yeah, so Sayori was thinking about therapy. Yuri wants to go into Japanese literature. Monica is going to take over the family business. And Natsuki doesn't care right now. So there. That's what everyone wants to do.
You'll all have to study really hard next year. That exam that you take at the end of high school is so important in determining which university you get into.
Ah, yes, the entrance exams. Yeah, so I've heard. Sakurai mentioned it too. Or, am I thinking of the right thing? Are the entrance exams for entering high school, or... Oh, well, not important right now. At least in the scope of these videos.
But you're a bright boy, so I know you can do it. Of course, with me raising you, you could hardly go wrong, could you?
We share a chuckle. My mom has always been really good at making me feel safe and secure. Yep, so did my mom. As well as my grandma as well. So it's definitely been quite an experience to not have either of them around anymore. Thanks, Mom, for everything. I don't know where I'd be without you. I don't know where I'd be without either my mom or grandma. Especially my grandma. She's literally the reason, like, I am who I am today. So... you could say that the person that's speaking to you right now is a result of my grandmother's teachings and all that. With some of the general personality traits of my mother.
Nothing to thank me for. I'm your mother. It's my job.
Yep. The unsung heroes. Seriously, having you around again has made such a difference. I just wish you could be around more often.
Me too, Daniel. Me too. I always feel guilty being so far away from home, especially when you were struggling to deal with Sayori.
It's not your fault. Life wasn't exactly going easy after the divorce, was it? You're doing your best.
Isn't that exactly what I said to you just now? I see you inherited my positivity.
Sayori called me a mama's boy, funnily enough.
Well, she isn't wrong now, is she?
I grin. Nope. Well, he's fine with it now.
Anyway, I was thinking we could go for a walk to town. There's a really nice cafe that one of my work friends recommended. It'll be good to get out of the house. The fresh air will do you good, too.
Can we swing by that restaurant Monica recommended? I just want to see what it's like, you know, just in case I want to take Sayori there another day.
Of course we can. White Day is only a month away, so who knows? Perhaps you'll spend the day there.
Oh, that'll definitely be a twist. Or a subversion of expectations. Oh, I said the magic phrase, so... Take that, Ryan Johnson! I'd forgotten about White Day.
You typically get a lot of chocolate, so it's one of my favorite days.
Ah, so there you were, berating me for gorging on chocolate, when it's you that I got my sweet tooth from. Oh, it's you!
I hope you've been eating healthily while I've been away, young man. Have you ever heard that phrase? What you don't know won't hurt you?
Well, it doesn't work when you straight up tell them, or hint at it very heavily.
I'll take that as a no, then.
Ignorance is bliss, Mom. Well, if ignorance really is bliss, then you must be feeling really, really, really good right now, because you are so ignorant, it's not even funny.
You should consider yourself lucky that Sayori doesn't expect you to cook her food, Daniel.
Funny you mentioned that, actually. Natsuki is really into food, so if I dated her instead... Well, I can tell you right now. Man, she'd grill me. No, she'd kill you. In your sleep. No pun intended. Yes, you call them steamed hams, despite the fact they are grilled. She laughed softly, shaking her head. Okay, well then, nothing of any relative importance happened whatsoever. Okay, so I guess I was wrong. There's still a lot more game to be had. Well, I guess considering the bad ending, it took place like right after Valentine's Day, and nothing really even happened on Valentine's Day aside from that awful argument, and then the awful event that I wish I could forget. Okay, well I think I might just call this video here. Oops, no, don't click done yet. Let's see, okay, September... Yep, it's September right now. Do you remember? Okay, no. Alright, well then I guess I'll see you guys next time with whatever else I do. Stay golden, and later, folks.